I thought I unmuted it, damn it. Well, you guys don't want to hear me anyway. Alright. I got another message in, but I just noticed it's 10 o'clock, so that's probably why. You need to send in your AM PM reefer check. Yeah, I just did it. Morning, everybody. Yeah. Oh, hello. Alright, let me get this reefer status check sent in and give it a couple minutes and get rolling. That's done. Help me, Scott. I got a lunatic in the truck. Yeah, she was clowning you in the group too, Jesse. I guess you were playing Celine Dion or something, and it woke her up and said, "Oh my God, what is this?" Still trying to come off this cold, so but that's why I've been streaming the last couple of days, because it's getting cold and my throat. I had bronchitis. I still have it a little bit, but I can tell it's getting better. So a couple of nights ago, I was trying to get to Little Rock, and I had just barely enough time to get to Little Rock, but I was feeling like crap. My eyes were hurting, and like they were sore, kind of hurting, like almost like I was high or something, even though I wasn't even on anything. How do I know that? Anyway, I ended up stopping in Prescott, Arkansas, which is, I don't know, not too far out of, well, good. Oh, just see. Anyway, I ended up stopping there. Yeah, it's these guys right in front of me. Appalachian Nitro Services. Alright. Yeah, and yeah, it's been really painful, just hard to talk, and then they've been munching on these Ricolas like they're candy. The Ricolas seem to be helping, and not to mention just constantly blowing my nose, trying to make sure I don't get any more phlegm down in my throat. So I'm sure you can still tell my throat still sucks, but it's better. So I think good enough where I felt like I can go ahead and stream for now. Yeah, it's not a very long trip today anyway. It's only 130 miles. I am currently in Kankakee, Illinois. For those of you guys who aren't familiar with it, it's on I-57 in between I-70 and I-80. So I'll be going up through the general Chicago area, kind of on the west end of the area, and then end up on I-94. Now, I-94 is the one that's the interstate that goes right alongside Lake Michigan, and go up that way. And then once I get up into Wisconsin, it's not very far after I get into Wisconsin. So it's in between Kenosha and Milwaukee. So that's where I'm going. All right, how you doing, Linda? And my load's not due until, you know what? Oh, Yeah, I'll check that on the way out of the spot. I was having trouble with my trailer brakes. I'll get to that in a minute. Do some storytelling on that, I guess, when I get on the highway. See what happens here. Oh yeah, actually. Okay. See, it actually set now. That's good. It took a bit for them to actually set, but they actually set. So I think it was just a sticky valve I was having. For those of you guys who follow me on Facebook, you might have seen my post about it yesterday. For those of you guys who don't follow me on Facebook, I'll talk more about it in a minute. Once this pokey little car here decides to let me get on the road so I can get onto the freeway. Is actually right off the same exit as a Petro truck stop, so I'll probably just end my shift at the Petro because my load's not due until 1 o'clock in the morning. And I considered actually stopping, just hanging out here until it's time to deliver. My problem is I got a pickup in Green Bay, and I think it was between 9 and 11 a.m. Get out of here by now. Make the turn before the car waiting at to make the left turn onto the ramp. Had a chance. Now, might get snowed on as I get further up the road here. A friend of mine is over in Wisconsin right now. He's in a different area of Wisconsin though than where I'm going to. He's more like in central Wisconsin, and he was showing me that he got dumped on over there. Anyway, so what happened there with the slow days, when I picked it up, when I acquired the trailer, because there was a drop in the pickup, the trailer, the tires were all the way up to the front. They were the farthest forward setting. I scaled the load out. My weights were okay, but my trailer, my tandem trailer axles were 220 pounds over. Scaled at 34,220. Come on, car, are you going to speed up? I'm not even up to speed yet. I'm only doing 63 even, I'm gonna do 70. Alright, outdoor getting loaded at the time, so they told me just go ahead and back underneath your trailer, and then when they're done, we'll let you know. When they're done loading, they'll tell you to go back across the scale and get your loaded weight. It's a whole truck weight though. They don't show the axle weights. And it did scale to like 76 something, 76.6 or whatever it was. So I figured, yeah, I'll be alright. And I did kind of more of a beeline route from where I picked up, which was in Palestine, Texas, up to Texarkana. Not really any truck stops along the way, at least. Well, there are a couple like little smaller places, but none that actually have a cat scale until you're already up into the Texarkana area that I know of. So I wasn't too concerned anyway. I just went ahead and when I did decide to get off the freeway, I scaled it then. Found out my tandems were over by 220 pounds. Okay, now I had 34,220, and then my trailer and my drive axle was at 30,720. So I have a couple of different methods I can use for figuring out how far to slide the tandems. I have like a minimum and an ideal. Minimum is just enough to get it legal. In this case, because my trailers, JCT trailers all have 6-inch hole pattern. That means every hole is 375 pounds per hole. Basically, it'll take off one axle and put on another. Alternative way to look at that is every hole changes 750 pounds. Or if you compare, like when I was on my CR England days, now they had some trailers with 4-inch holes and some with 6-inch holes. So I figured out what the common dimension is, which is a foot, and how they corresponded. And basically every foot, the difference between the two weights will change by 1,500 pounds. So let's just say if your axle weights are 1,500 pounds off from each other, you can slide your tandems a foot, and then it'll even them out. In this case, I had about 3,500. Yeah, I think 3,500 pound difference. So knowing that, I can just slide the tandems back 2 feet, maybe 2.5 feet. And 2 feet would have gotten them as close as possible without crossing over, where that drive axle becomes a heavyweight. And then one extra hole back would have had them cross over each other. Either way, when I got through scaling my load over there and I got into a parking spot, tried to slide my tandems, and it wouldn't work because my damn trailer tires kept rolling. So because my trailer tires were rolling, even though I had my trailer brakes set, it wouldn't let me slide my tandems, and I didn't have a wheel chock or 4x4 or anything online to prevent the tires from rolling. That, of course, kind of begs the question, if I have my trailer brakes set, then why are the trailer brakes not working? Why are they not doing what they're supposed to be doing? Now, what happens is, I'll have to show you guys later. Okay, there's a torque tube on the back of the tandems. The torque tube basically is just a bar that twists and basically rotates. If you were to, let's just say if you're lifting weights, you have a barbell playing with. Okay, now if you were to roll your wrist forward and backward, let's just say while you're bench pressing or something, that's the way a torque tube works. And on the opposite end of on one or both ends of the torque tube, there's going to be basically a crank. Okay, on the trailer there's a crank on both sides. And on one end overrides the spring. And then once the pressure drops so far, then the spring is able to pull the bar, the crank back toward it. I'll show you that later on, but I was just kind of, my 14-hour clock was running down when I first picked up the load, because I was in let's see, I got there around a little before 2 p.m. on the 7th, before a 3 p.m. pickup, and I didn't get out of there until after like 6 or whatever. No, I don't know. Anyway, they got me down where my 14-hour clock was running down on me, so I was limited on what I could do that shift. So anyway, I was just kind of in get as far as I can mode, so I can set up my next shift and get reasonably close. That way I have more options to work with when I got up here in this area. Anyway, with that, I didn't actually, I was getting ready to start my shift, and of course do my pre-trip, and you see that the brakes are not setting again. I mean, they work okay when I actually apply them, they just don't set. Kind of like the problem I had in Logan Sport last month. And why are we still on 55? Is there anything here to justify a 55 limit? Whatever, I guess. About to start rolling, and I didn't want to get actually I tried to get it looked at by the Loves there in Prescott, but it turns out they didn't have the capability. I guess they don't have a mechanic there to actually work on that kind of a problem. They only do tires, so I wasn't able to get anything looked at there, so I just said, to hell with it, I'll just go out and roll. I'm not worried about an axle being 200 pounds over. Not like it. Most places are not. Most weigh stations, even if I do get dragged in, are not going to care too much about that. There we go. Now I can do 70 and know that I'm okay. So anyway, I get all the way from Prescott up to Charleston, Missouri to do my 30-minute break. Park. At the end of my break, I try again to see what happens when I set the trailer brakes. Once again, I'm able to roll. I felt a little bit of resistance, but not enough to stop me at all. Even the truck just creeping. It was overriding whatever effort the system was making to try to stop me. So still wasn't working there. Now mind you, I was in mid 60 weather in Prescott and in 40-degree weather in Charleston. Then when I get up here to Kankakee last night, it was 30-degree weather. And I'm gonna get to more on why I'm talking about the temps here in a second. I get parked here in Kankakee last night, and I go do my post trip, and I decide, I'm going to take my wrenches out there and double check the adjustment on all the brakes on the trailer, and because I did a visual on them when I first did my pre-trip. What I usually do, and I have done a video on this in the past, a quick way to tell if your brakes need adjustment or not is to release your trailer brakes and then go back there and inspect it. And if you see any kind of a gap at all between the brake pad and the brake drum, then there's a pretty good chance it needs to be adjusted. well adjusted. And then I couldn't get to the back ones, but I could tell from looking at them from the front that it might have been okay. Yeah, because I was up against the curb and it was all muddy and all that, and I was like, yeah. Kankakee, and then I intentionally left my tandems further forward of the curb so I could easily get back there. And I went ahead and took my wrench set back there and double checked. I started with my right rear. I was able to turn it and adjust it, maybe a few quarter turns or so. Not a lot, but I was able to. And then I'll go to the left rear. It was solid. Like, okay, the left rear is perfect then. I go climb underneath climb under the axle, the rear axle, to get to the front axle. Check those, and they were both solid too. So it told me that 3 of the 4 brakes were very well adjusted already. So it's like, obviously it is a parking brake issue, then, and not a brake adjustment issue. So, because that's the other thing, if the brakes are not adjusted properly, you can set the brakes and they won't contact or have enough contact with the brake drum to actually do their job, even if they are actually set. So I had to make sure they were adjusted properly first, and then once I did that, of course I double checked where the crank was at, the torque tube crank, whatever, the parking brake crank, whatever you want to call it, and it was in the normal release position. I go and set the brakes, and I go back to the back of the trailer again to double check, and sure enough, it was in the set position. So I'm like, that's interesting. So I'm wondering if I can slide my tandems now. So on the way back to the front of the truck, I went ahead and popped the valve for my tandem release, or tandem slide button, whatever. Go back up in the truck and try to slide them, and sure enough, I was able to slide them. And I had already made arrangements with the Loves there in Kankakee to take a look at it this morning at 8 o'clock. Sure enough, they actually woke me up at 8:30 and called me up about it. And I had called them yesterday afternoon. But then, I went in, they were closed, so I couldn't notify anybody about it last night. So, or at least the shop was. So, I just told them, my brakes seem to be working okay now, and I was able to slide my tandem, so I said, I'm not going to need the help anymore. Appreciate it. That's it, Barry. So that's been my adventure for this shift. The first part of the trip, from Palestine to Prescott was only, I think, actually from Dallas to Prescott. Dallas to Palestine to Prescott was, I think it was only 300 and some odd miles. I don't know, could be wrong. I want to say it was 300 some odd miles. I don't know. I thought it was more, but no, yeah, I think it was 330 or so. And 110 from Dallas to the shipper in Palestine, and then another 220-ish from Palestine up to Prescott. Hands up, Tom. Alright, so then after that next leg, which was yesterday, I was starting to feel better. Still tried to avoid talking any more than necessary. Even when I talked to my wife a couple times, it was very limited. Anybody who did talk, I think Eric was also. I even talked to him briefly yesterday about something, and I'm sure he can vouch. He heard the way my voice sounded. Not much unlike right now. It's just, well, I'm way station coming up, and this guy's not even doing 60 miles an hour. Right about 60. 63 now. I got a green light, although the tone is all screwy. Okay, Gaming with Warbucks, you had another question up there. I forgot. I noticed it, but I had scrolled past before I got a chance to review it again and double, so I can answer it. Saw the one about the ticket. It's now I gotta call him, maybe call him tomorrow, find out what's going on. I've not gotten any kind of email about it, so I don't know what the hell's up. Maybe, can you repeat your other question that you had though, Warbucks? Because you had something in there I was going to reply to, but I was in the middle of talking about something else. Oh, that's right, the fuel mileage. Yeah, because you were asking about when I picked up that other load in Oxnard and it's on my way to Yuma, correct? You know, and it kind of seemed like I was burning more fuel than normal. Okay, so what happened there was I think there was no problem at all with my fuel usage. It seemed to be that my fuel was not transferring over from the right side tank to the left side tank, so it would distribute evenly. Because it picks up from the left side tank. Come on, dude, are you gonna... This guy can't make up his mind what speed to run. Now watch, he's gonna speed up now I'm over here. I can already tell. His speed's all over the place. So anyway, it looked like I was burning through a lot more unusual amount of fuel. But in reality, the problem was because it only picks up and indicates off the left tank. And because it appeared to not be actually using the fuel in my right side tank, and I'll get to how I knew this in a second, it was only using the fuel in the left side tank, so it appeared to be using more fuel than it actually was. And how I found out is because when I eventually got to Lordsburg, New Mexico with I ended up swapping loads after that pickup. That's another story there. I don't know if you might not have been around when I was talking about that, I think on the other stream. So I'll go ahead and repeat that for anybody who might not have heard that earlier. But anyway, I ended up in Lordsburg with the load going to Darwin. I had picked up an Oxnard and went over to Yuma with, was going up here to Illinois. So anyway, I stopped in Lordsburg, New Mexico for fuel. Had a 30-minute break. And I took my flashlight and peeked into the fuel tanks to see driving with my red light, my low fuel light on for about 40 miles, I can put 180 gallons of fuel in my tanks, or about 90 each. So, and I was able to put 60 gallons in, and probably wasn't going to get more than maybe another 5, maybe 5 gallons, definitely not 10 though, into the tank before it was going to fill up. That kind of told me it was more an indication problem. But then they had the EFS problems, and I hadn't had a chance. I was trying to update my records on my spreadsheet, my miles and my fuel purchases, to see what's going on there. And then with the EFS problems, because I had to pay out of pocket for a couple of fuel purchases on that shift. Actually, I bought fuel out of pocket in Tucson and bought fuel out of pocket in Lawrenceburg because of that EFS issue. And then when I go on to the EFS app, then it wasn't actually showing me how many gallons or what price I paid or anything like that on my prior fuel purchases. They finally got that resolved now. Oh, by the way, I'm in Moni, Illinois. There's a Pilot petrol right here off this exit. Alright, so anyway, Moni, I'm within about 20 miles of I-80. I forget the exact distance from here to I-80. It's not that far, though. Anyway, I had like 1 or 2 purchases from earlier that I was never able to update, and I was getting worried and concerned that I wasn't going to be able to get the accurate info, and I was going to have to just make up some random price per gallon, or I was going to have to go into my settlements from before. Find out how much I spent on fuel at these particular locations at these particular times. Not the ones in Tucson and Lawrenceburg, but on previous trips. The ones that I didn't have recorded on my spreadsheet yet. And I thought I was going to have to use that and divide by whatever the current price per gallon is at those particular locations, and at least get an estimate of how many gallons I actually bought. But I ended up, I didn't even have to do that. I just had to wait a little bit for them to update, to fix their system. And I was finally able to get all the correct and accurate information in there. And it turns out now my fuel economy is just right in the same neighborhood it's always been, 6.83 to 6.84-ish. It's kind of what I've been averaging. Sometimes I'll get up around 685. That's my cumulative average. Yeah, I think I'm still hovering in that same area, so. Now I think about it, I forgot to, I still have to put my numbers in from the 2 purchases that I made out of pocket. Clowns come up behind me and just camp out, and then after 5 minutes they finally decide to want to pass me. Got someone camping out right behind me. I had 2 vehicles do it to me yesterday too. I figured out the first guy who was doing it was only, I think it was because he had I think it was his wife or somebody in the passenger seat, and they were having a conversation. He was just in La La Land, lollygagging behind me, and then finally he decides, I'll go ahead and pay attention to the road now. I'll go ahead and go around this truck finally. Then get up further up the road, and right between me and another truck, and the other truck goes to get off the freeway. And what do you know, that instead of moving over to the other lane, well, like it was wide open, which it was, dipshit decides to just slow down with the other truck and ended up slowing me down on top of it. Actually, I ended up moving over. It's like, I'm not slowing down if I don't need to. That's what turn signals and the left lanes are for, dumbass. But yeah, if I hadn't slowed down and moved over, I would have hit them. And then he decided to camp out right behind my trailer on the right side. I guess they thought they were just far enough behind me where I could move back over, but nope. If I feel like you're right behind my trailer, I'm not coming over. You're only going to give me 5 feet of space. If I come over, I'm only going to be 5-10 feet away ahead of you. Then no, you're too close. I'm not moving over. And not to mention, from my view in the rear view mirror, even if you're 5 to 10 feet away from me, it's going to look from my end like you're right on top of right on top of the corner of my trailer. I'm not moving over like that. Gotta give trucks more space than that. Good rule of thumb. Leave at least 100 feet of space. If you don't get at least a good 100 feet of space, I can't guarantee I'll see you once I am over. Not to mention, if I move over and have to suddenly slow down for something, you want to make absolutely certain that I want to make absolutely certain that you'll be able to react. I'm not going to put myself in a position where something happens and then all of a sudden I become the at-fault driver for cutting in front of you and not giving you opportunity to react to anything. Warbucks asking, do I have a pre-plan out of Wisconsin? Yes, I actually got one before I even picked this load up. And it's going from Green Bay late tomorrow morning to Oklahoma City. And that one is to get me through our yard in Sepulpa so I can get my fuel card replaced. Considered actually starting my shift later this evening and then making my delivery and then running from there straight up to Green Bay. But it's about 8 to 10 hour gap between my appointment time in Sturtevant and my actually about 10 hour drop dead between my appointment time in Sturtevant and my drop dead time up in Green Bay. Yeah, I'm getting railroaded here. Can't get around this guy. There's too many four-wheelers coming up behind me. Wait for at least some kind of little gap, but I don't know that I'm going to get one, so I'm going to say screw this. Maybe someone will be nice enough to let me over sooner or later. Oh, yep, someone finally did. So I tried to wait patiently for an opening in the traffic first, but looked like it was going to become a non-stop endeavor there, so I said to hell with it. I'll just signal, and sooner or later someone will actually let me in, and they did. Self-driving trucks scare me. No, they do not. However, I'm not a fan of them. I'll give couple more reasons for that. One, self-driving trucks are, it's computerized. Well, I have programming experience, and one of the things they say in programming is garbage in, garbage out. You put garbage into the code, and you get garbage back from it, as a product. This is exactly what's happening with Boeing. Their 737 MAX. Look what's going on with that thing. They have bad software in that thing that contributed to 2 crashes with that 737 MAX. And now I also just read yesterday there was also something with some Boeing spacecraft called the Starliner that's also got a problem with the computation process. Now the Starliner, what's going on with that is that I guess they had it configured so that what was it? I can't remember, it was a booster or whatever, and then like the capsule thing, whatever. I forget. I'm not really intimately familiar with that design there, but piece of shit bumps. Hang on, let me get around this curve and off this bridge, and I'll fix that. All right. Okay, so they figured out that they got it before it ever actually happened, but I guess running through their simulations with it, they figured out that it's possible for it to, they had things, I guess they had something set to fire in the wrong order, so what was going to happen there would have possibly allowed the 2 parts that had already separated to collide back into each other. And of course, nothing good can come from 2 parts or 2 sections running into each other like that. So that's what happens when you rely too much on computer technology. It's not infallible. It might lead to more safety in some ways, but at the same time, honestly, I think we need to be responsible with technology, because too much technology tends to, as I put it, dumb people down. Make them rely too much on stuff as conveniences that they should be taking care of themselves as their responsibility. Secondly, if you have a bunch of self-driving trucks out here, then how many truck drivers do you think could potentially lose their jobs? And then how much do those truck drivers contribute to the broader U.S. GDP? How many other people outside of trucking can possibly lose their jobs because now there aren't so many people who have jobs? That can cause a downward snowball effect toward a recession. I think it's irresponsible practice there to do anything that can possibly replace human jobs. Up off 580, right? I don't think I've been to that one. I don't recall. I've been through Livermore, but I don't think I've delivered there. 294, a mile away, which is the route I'll be taking. 294 up to 94. 90 miles away at this point. Juan Francisco. Snowed on at some point in time. Looking at the weather forecast yesterday, and looked like this actually late this morning, early this afternoon, the region here should be getting snowed on. Now, I know this area got snowed on yesterday because my friend Eric, not Wildman, but another Eric, who actually lives in the area not far from where I was parked, said he was at home getting snowed on yesterday. On the Interstate 294 right now. Juan Francisco. Estoy en el Interstate 294. Estoy yendo a Sturtevant, Wisconsin. About football, I might want to make a distinction between soccer, football, and American football. I think if you ask Tom that, I don't think you're talking about soccer. If you ask me that, I don't think you're talking about NFL like American football. A good day to come through here since it's Sunday. Wouldn't want to be coming through here on a weekday morning. Sunday, yeah, it's not bad at all. got the link for your live stream or whatever? Yeah, I got a link from you earlier. I was getting ready to go eat breakfast and all that, and I didn't get a chance to look at it yet. Take a look at it when I end my feed and shut down and all that. Hey, what's up? Yeah, it does. I've been sick the last few days. I got a cold and bronchitis. It's getting better, but because a couple days ago was the worst of it, and yesterday's kind of feeling a little bit better. What's that? Tonight at 1 a.m. Yeah. So I figured I'll just hang out at the Petro up there and then PC it over for the delivery because it's off the same exit. And then when it's time to head up to Green Bay for my reload, I can have a fresh clock instead of burning most of my 14 up on waiting between delivery and pickup. Oklahoma City. Yes. That's precisely. Yes, sure have. Yeah. Yeah, it is. I remember because I know the first time I went there, I went to where I thought I was supposed to be, which really is the place, but then to find out you're supposed to drop your trailer in the yard to the south of there first, and then bobtail up to the one on the north side to grab your load it. Like, God, that's weird. Yeah, interesting one. So where you still up in Northern Cal or? Oh, I thought I saw you were in Cali yesterday for some reason. Oh, maybe I mixed you up with someone else. That's right. I do remember seeing you were in Florida not long ago. Because you were, yeah. Because I remember there was one time I looked and you were actually it looked like you were almost in the same location as Dave and Tammy Jennings. Yeah. No, I'm kind of wondering too. Maybe we have a number of people who are teams who are not even in the group though. So, and I-10 is definitely where most of them are going. Most of them happen to be usually. But I am kind of curious if it's anybody I've met. Which way you head? Illinois or somewhere else? Oh, track. Oh, okay. Damn. You got a whole 6 pallets in the trailer and it's 2 stops? What the hell? Where the hell did you pick up from? In Auburndale? Or Umatilla? Dundee. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I've not been to that one. Hmm. Is that your first time going to that place or? Oh, okay. Oh, that's always helpful. Oh, interesting. Sounds like a pretty good place then. One one box? Oh my God, that's hilarious. I hope that wasn't his old truck. Wow. That was with the 53-foot trailer? Probably like a 20-pound box or something. Oh, that would have been funny to see. That's the yeah, sounds like what I'd expect to pick up from Coca-Cola in that area. Yeah. Yeah. Oh shit, I might run into you at the terminal then, it sounds like. All right. Let's see, I think my load's due on the 12th in Oklahoma City, so I'll probably be there. I don't know, I'm guessing the 11th, but I don't know. All right, so yeah, it's a possibility. I think I have 950 something loaded miles paid, so won't. Yeah, I definitely won't make it on the 10th. So yeah, sometime the 11th, I'm guessing is when I'll be over there. All right, we're at. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, especially the San Bernardino yard. I'm definitely an expert on that area. So that's my hometown. She. Yeah, depending on where she's coming from, I give different directions. I hate Tippecanoe. I stay the hell away from that street as much as I can. Oh, we got some other weird street names in that area. Like up in northern, you know, northern main part of San Bernardino, there's another street called Mescupiabi, right? Third Street? Yes and no. You can take Third Street across, but problem is when you get over by where the courthouse is, you have to basically take a little circle route around the courthouse to stay on Third. I don't recommend going that way. It's kind of it's just unnecessary turns. I'd rather take Fifth Street across. And then if I'm on my way into the yard from I-15 and I-40 area, whatever, I'll either take 215 down to Fifth, and then take Fifth all the way across to Del Rosa, or I'll get on the 210 and take it across to Del Rosa and then come down Del Rosa. And if I'm coming in from the east, like coming across I-10 from like Phoenix or something, I'll actually get on the 210. Yeah, go west on the 210 and then get off at Fifth Street over there. You know, over there in Highland, one that's like an exit away from where I used to live. And then you remember how we used to get to the old drop yard, right? Well, even when we used the drop yard over by the runway. Uh, yeah, I used to. No, I never touched Tippecanoe. Better than fast car. Dipshits. Got a merge point and these two cars come flying up on me. Like it's a 55 zone. I'm doing 60, and you guys are still coming up on me at like 70, and you're coming into my lane. I don't think so, buddy. All right. So anyway, yeah. Normally, the nice and easy way in would be. I mean, it's a little bit longer miles, but it's so much less headache. Is to take 210 to Fifth Street, and then when you get off of Fifth, head west on Fifth until you get to Palm, which is only like the second light down, and then turn left, and then the very next light is Third. Turn right on the Third, and then you can take Third straight on down. And there aren't very many traffic lights there. It's a 50 zone, and there's not as much traffic. There are some traffic lights, but not that many, and they don't stay red for that long if they even are red. It's so much easier. Tippecanoe down there by Harriman and Hospitality Way, just not too far north of I-10. Oh my God, I can't stand being in that area. I avoid that area as much as I can. If it's in the middle of the night when there's not any traffic, okay, I'll go ahead and do it. But if there's even going to be remotely any kind of traffic in that area, nope, I stay away. Um, Even if I'm going to go down to like LA or Colton or wherever else, when I leave the yard, I'll go across Mill Avenue, Mill Street, whatever, And then when I get to the 5-way intersection where Mill, E, and Inland Center Drive all meet up, I'll cut down I'll make the diagonal left to go down Inland Center Drive. And then I get on the 215 at Inland Center. Just less headache. Okay, I'll talk to you later. All right, bye. Still on here. I saw you'd asked earlier what happened to me. I've had a cold the last few days, so, and it's been a cold and bronchitis. I don't want to be talking, but didn't want to be talking any more than necessary, so I wasn't going to stream until I got over it. At least in better shape from that. I still have, I'm still recovering. I'm not 100%, but I'm better now than I was, so. That's why I'm streaming today. Dude, you can move over. You don't have to lose that much speed. You're already that far behind the other car that's passing you, dipshit. No, email. Saw you talking about how much of a fan you are of the 294. Not so bad today when it's free-flowing traffic, though. Too soon. I'm getting a very small amount of snow flurries right now. They're barely visible to me out of my eye, but I know for sure you won't see them on the screen. You had to jinx me like that, right, Carl? Some bitch. You had to keep sharing that crap with me. Even down on I-10, I couldn't get away from your freaking weather. Texas line, it's not unusual for them to get snow. I even used to see Shepherd Air Force Base in Wichita Falls. It would get hot there during the summer months, but then I'd see people show me their pictures when I was actually active duty of what it was like in their tech school. They're the same tech school in the winter time, and yeah, and half the time they'd show me snowy pictures. I didn't know it even got cold enough there to snow. Cough drops. It's actually been helping, because the main problem I've been having is basically a phlegm buildup in my throat and irritating my bronchioles, and yeah, I actually got it's gotten where it was very painful to even cough. Actually, my ribs were even hurting, but it started to get better in I'd say the second half of yesterday's shift. Feeling better now. It's but it's still in recovery mode. I mean, you can obviously tell that I'm not 100%, but I do feel a lot better today than I did 2 days ago, and to some extent better than yesterday, the first half of yesterday. I don't think my problem's in the lungs though, because I can feel most of my problem right in the center, where my esophagus and the bronchioles, the trachea, and all that are at. I've been producing a lot of mucus, runny mucus, so that's the other way. I know it's probably when I'm sleeping. Dude, move over, dumbass. Now you funny to say. You guys have no manners at all. The guy behind me finally did, but the car behind him didn't want to. Anyway, yeah, I can tell what's going on there. I must have had, like, maybe when I'm sleeping or something, getting some of it, the excess production. Like the factory's in overtime mode, producing a lot more than normal, and irritating my, basically irritating my throat as it goes down toward my stomach. I can see O'Hare Airport right over here to the left side of me. Right around the side of a right curve when I can't see around the left side of my trailer is not a good place to be. Because I can't be completely certain if I can move over to the other lane in that kind of position without cutting the faster moving vehicle off. my stomach. I'm usually a side sleeper or a back sleeper, but when I shut down in Prescott, you know, the night I was feeling like crap, I tried to sleep a little more on my stomach, or at least somewhat more on my stomach. That way, I wouldn't have so many issues with any mucus buildup trying to go down my throat, making it harder for me to recover. Seemed to help, and then not to mention just even every time I got even the first hit of any kind of crap in my sinuses, I blow my nose. Yeah, just keep it as clear as I can, and then yeah, it did seem to help. Cargo theft, recent cargo thefts and truck lot. Yeah, I noticed that last time I came through here too. In a spittoon? What is a spittoon? Come on, asshole Porsche driver. Maybe you ought to slow down. Not like I'm not driving the speed limit. It's 55 zone and I'm doing 50. I'm doing 60. Why is anybody passing me? Let alone at least 10 miles an hour faster than me. I remember in England every so often I used to do some pickups right here literally on the north end of O'Hare Airport at the XPO facility here in Des Plaines. No, Carl, I don't know what a spittoon is. I speak English. What the hell is a spittoon? I've heard of it, I think, but I don't recall what exactly it is. Freeway speed, or are you going to act like an idiot like you are? Yeah. Answer that question. I thought it had something to do with spitting into. I'm not a big fan of Westerns, so that tells you something right there. Come on, dipshit. Are you gonna... Trying to move over just in case the Sanders truck behind me wants to go by, but couldn't figure out what this lady over here on the right was gonna do. I'm not a tobacco user. I'm not a huge fan of westerns. So I've seen those bucket things that you're talking about. I guess you call them spittoons, but I didn't know that's what they were called. I was getting kind of a visual of it being something spit related though. Most people don't. I'm not saying you guys, but most people I know of don't know. Lanes are always numbered from left to right, not from right to left. So the slow lane is not the number one lane. The fast lane is the number one lane. So right now I'm in the number 4 lane, not the number 1 lane. Not the number 2 lane either, or out of 5. It's the number 4 lane. Good information also if you ever need to call 911 about something in the road. Maybe debris or an accident or something. They need to know what lane it is, and you need to know that it's the left to the right. Left is 1, the next one over to the right is 2, and so on. Then you know what lane to tell them that it's in. I've been about 80 miles so far, it's about 50 miles out. kind of strikes me as being a not so bad area of Chicago. Time believing I'm not getting snowed on yet. It's already 11:30. The snow is supposed to hit this afternoon. .36 locally. Actually is cold enough to snow. It's not. It doesn't matter what the ambient temp is here on the ground. It's a matter of what the temp is at the altitude where the clouds are at. To mention to you yesterday, did you hear that new song from Nightwish that just got released on YouTube a couple days ago? It's called Noise. It's a good song. I'd play it right now, but they're like you just experienced yesterday. Certain Nightwish songs, not all of them, but certain Nightwish songs will get the video blocked. I'm not sure I want to play it on my stream. But I can always post a link to it in Critters Corner for those guys who are in the Critters Corner chat. Hey, you should check it out. It's a good song. I mean, I'm sure you'll check it out anyway, because then I know they got you hooked on Nightwish. Reno, from my neck of the woods. Alright, 294 ends, begin I-94 now. So the rest of the shift will be on I-94. White lane end sign up ahead before I straightened out and had it blocked by Amazon. Snow flurries here now. Very, very small particles. I don't know if you guys can see anything, but I can see it. See the road starting to get just a little bit wet too. Showing 36 degrees for local temp. Marriott Theater, next right. In the exit lane, just like I was doing something with her, like her chin. Didn't really look like she was scratching it though. So I'm like, what are you doing? So maybe she got some chin here she wants to play with or something. Come on, car. Speed up. I'm not slowing down for your ass, you fucking idiot. Get your ass on the road at the speed you're supposed to be getting on it at. Pretty bad I had to hit my air horn to get your stupid ass attention. Could have also moved over, but why should I have to when they're lollygagging the way onto the ramp and there's a shitload of space in front of me? There's no excuse for that kind of stupidity. Don't be out here driving if you're going to be driving like that. On-ramp mannerisms are the absolute, are one of the biggest pet peeves I have with four-wheeler traffic. Yeah, I get a lot more snow now. Are you guys able to see any of it, or? I can't really clearly tell on the taking quick glances at the screen, whether it's visible. Miles in, so 20 miles away, it should be about 115, so yeah, it should be about 15, a little over 15 mile drive from the Wisconsin line to where I'll be stopping then. That's what it sounds like. Stopping at these service plazas every so often. It's a good place to people watch. You know, just interesting to see the assortment of people who show up in areas that are not where I'm from. It's kind of like when I go into Carl's area. I just laugh when I go to the Loves over there off Highway 2. Over by Nebraska City or whatever that town is over there. And half of everybody I see there, just about everybody I see there is white, like Irish looking or whatever. You don't get that in Cali. There are more people with brown skin than there are people with white skin where I live. Or at least as many. Even just seeing the way people dress or whatever, it's, you know, I find that interesting at times too. You know, like how do the guys dress and how do the women dress? And then of course you get the eye candy kind of stuff that is worth checking out. Look how we're getting a rain and snow mix now. 34 degrees. make it easier. I think I'll go ahead and call you up. Hey, what's up? Where are you at right now? Okay, you're real close to a spot where you can. Is there something wrong between there and 99, or okay? Are you able to get to that Arvin cutoff? Was that 223 or whatever hell it's called? It's real close to where you're at. If you're over by that Caliente exit. Shit. All right. Yeah, I can't really look on my map until I'm shut down. But yeah, you already went through that little downhill gap where basically where it goes downhill and there's that left, that cut off on the left side, and then you go back up the hill on after you get that cut off. Because that's the Arvin cutoff. Yeah, 223 is exactly what I was suggesting there. If you're able to get to 223, you can take that across. That'll get you around that problem, no problem. Onto what road? Bealville? Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I know you're right in that right area, same area. I just forget where it's at in relation to 223. Like, all right. Yeah, when I get shut down, I can take a better look for you. Otherwise, yeah, otherwise I'd pull up Google Maps or something and take a good look at it. And where's your load going to again? Oh, oh man, good luck with that place. I try to stay away from that place with all that freaking construction they got going on there. Oh, what an idiot. Or what the hell's going on up there? Okay, so this four wheeler went over to the median to stop, and then there was also like a yellow pickup with like maintenance kind of lights, like amber lights, amber beacon lights on it. In the median, also coming up pretty fast on the car that was coming to a stop, and I'm like, damn, are they gonna? Don't they even know that the car's getting ready to stop in front of them? Alone, why is the guy even in the median? But maybe it looked like he stopped and stayed behind the car though, so didn't get that. Yeah, talk dirty to me. What? Hey, your fault. You left the door open for that. So where's the actual jackknife at? Yeah, where it starts to flatten out. Ah, ah, ah. Oh, come on. Oops. Bakersfield incidents. Westbound 58 at Bealville Road. Traffic collision, no injuries. It's like between a pickup and a semi. Disabled in the lanes. Possible medical aid needed. Off-duty firemen. Traffic stopped. Okay, all lanes blocked. 30-foot travel trailer F-250 jackknifed. Oh, is it the F-250? It look like he hooked up with the semi also, or so there isn't a semi involved? Or, oh, okay. Of course, maybe there was a semi there originally. Maybe the semi guy just saw it happen and stopped to check on him, and then are the cops already there? Okay, yeah, and that's a good possibility because usually once the cops get in, they'll get witness statements as quickly as they can, and then get them out of there. And then anybody who's not, doesn't have anything to add, they get them out of there fast too, because more people stopped is more distraction and it makes it more difficult to get traffic moving again. Passenger vehicles can get through, all other traffic blocked. Some traffic diverting to Frontage Road, Bena crossing 58 traffic. Turn, turn around, passenger vehicle, go around TC, all semis stopped. Oops. All right, so it sounds like are you able to get by it now, or oh, so you're actually getting on, so you're actually getting on to 223. Okay, well that's good. Yeah, you can take. There is another. Well, once you're on 223, what's that street called? Because I've done a pickup over there before. There's like there's several Grimway Farms facilities over there, but I know there's a street that you're gonna cross that. Actually, I think there are a couple of them up there that you can use to take back up to 58, or you can just stay on 223 and take it all the way up to straight over to 99. Yeah. Well, it doesn't sound like you got too far to get around it anyway. So yeah, yeah, I can't help much until I'm actually stopped where I can actually look at the map. Ah, now in Wisconsin, Pleasant Prairie, passing by the chicken coop. That's what I'm thinking. So I'm gonna have them. I'm gonna ask about it when I get to the yard with this next load because yeah, when it's both red and green are both giving me the same like one single long audible tone instead of the normal interval tones that they usually give. I knew there was something going on there, and as long as I've never changed the batteries or pre-pass unit since I've had this truck, and it's been almost just about 2 years now, which is they used to never last me that long when I was with England. They used only used to last maybe 6 months before I'd have to replace them. So where are you stopping in Lost Hills at the Loves or the Pilot or the Arco? Ah, yeah. Until they get all that construction over there completely done, I'm afraid to even go near that place. In fact, even when I go up into like say going up towards Salinas, I won't even go through there. Um, what is it? I think it's not Taft Highway, is it? No, it might be Laredo Highway. One of those highways that I'll actually go across it, and then when it dead ends, I'll go north, take that up to Highway 46, then 46 across, and I won't go anywhere near the 5 and 46, or at least not on the 46 part of it, unless I'm just going westbound on 46 and um, gonna go north on 5. Stay in the middle of the lane. You're in a Freightliner, right? So, oh no, it's a Kenworth. That's right. Yeah, it's one thing I noticed when I switched from Freightliners to this, um, and it also made more sense why when I was a trainer, I always had yeah, I had so many trainees that always tended to favor the right side of the lane. It's because the cab is wider. I mean the driver section of the Freightliners is wider than Freightliner, but than Kenworths and Peterbilts are. So you'll actually feel like you're closer to being right on top of the line, and your natural instinct is to put your body right about the same distance from the line as you're used to. So I'd say at least half the people I trained, they had tendencies to favor the right side of the line, right side of the lane, and even cross into the adjacent lane and I'd have to tell them, look, you're not looking in your mirrors enough if you can't figure out that you're not in the middle of your lane. Like I think I am in the middle. No, you're going too much by your body and not paying attention to what your mirrors are telling you. How much gap is there between the left side of your truck and the line there, and then how much gap is there on the right side of your truck and the line over there? If they aren't matching up, then you're not in the middle of your lane. And say, look in your damn mirrors. And also, I figured because when you're in a car, you're just used to being a certain distance away from the line, and then when people go from driving a car to being in a Freightliner, they don't understand that, right? Right? Yeah, you have to actually get your body closer to the line than you're normally comfortable with in order to be right in the middle of the lane. Usually it'd take about, God, a full week to finally break him of that habit. And then with those curves, I was trying to teach them to stay on the high side of the curves. That was another always fun one. I think, on left curves, they were always fine, but right curves, it was always, I kept diving in like, what are you doing? Stay on the high side of the curve. But diving in, yeah, a lot of people do. That's why I don't like to be next to other trucks in curves, because too many people have that habit. But see, I'll stay high. And then if they want to hit me, go ahead. Go ahead and hit me. We'll see whose fault it is. You're not following trucking 101 if I see you diving in. And I got dash cams that'll show both the front and back end of what your truck's doing. It's like, yeah, I will prove beyond any doubt that you encroached into my lane. See, and even more definitely when I'm in what appear to be 10-foot wide lanes instead of 12. Not too many places are like that, but it's usually certain metro areas. Then it's definitely don't spend any time next to another truck if there's a curve anywhere nearby. Like I think in Amarillo where the construction stuff is going on. Right? Yeah, that's a good example. Do not drive next to other trucks in those curvy areas there. The lanes are not 12-foot wide. They're narrower. Yeah, not done fast enough though. It should be less than 10 miles away from my exit. I think it was 333, but I remember seeing on the map. 333, 332, something like that. I got 339 coming up next. All right. I'll talk to you later. Bye. So Eric was having a problem on Highway 58. F-250 pulling a travel trailer, jackknifed and hit the barrier there. And I guess the four-wheeler traffic was was able to get by, but the trucks are not. So he ended up being able to divert onto Highway 223, the Arvin Highway, basically. He's going to cut across that way to Highway 58, to 99 instead. sure that's what I remember seeing on the map. Let's see, I should see an iron skillet on the food part here, possibly. There's a petrol right up the street. Oh wait, there's a pilot at exit 329. Yeah, I'll just go there. And I can get a shower also while I'm at it. Stopping at the petrol myself, but if it's only a few more miles up to that pilot, then I can get a shower while I'm at it. And it's not far away. I can still PC over here tonight, and since I've already ran the miles here to the receiver, I just passed by the receiver a minute ago, so already logged the time needed to get there. Yeah. And ice built up on this left side windshield wiper. Miles from Milwaukee. Just realized that I needed to go north on 99. Yes. I thought you already knew that. You can also take 223, I think, all the way across to I-5 if you want to, but yeah, it's up to you. Once you're over in that area, it's actually not. It's actually worth considering going all the way across to I-5. Okay, this left side is getting annoying. Getting ice built up on the wiper blade itself, which causes the wiper blade to scrape unevenly. So it's not able to pick up all the stuff on the windshield as effectively as it's supposed to be. But thankfully I'll be stopping soon. Decided to turn my defogger on to full heat, everything on the windshield too, hoping it'll help. Experience tells me it probably won't, but might as well try it. Pilot with an Arby's, exit 329. Beacon truck wash over here, so the pilot must be right on this side of the freeway too, because I'm remember saying the blue beacon was right. I think this might be the same blue beacon I stopped at last time I was out here. Yeah, this is. So perfect. So now I know where I can wash out my trailer and refuel my reefer unit along the way to Green Bay. So I can clear over there. A&W here. Yeah, I remember I've stopped at this pilot before. I do see a few spots open over there up on the north end of the lot also. My interior camera turned on. I want to make sure it's on so I can get backing footage from that view. Let's get it facing the right way. Probably end up with a straight back right here. Probably park right over here by this this guy here. Oh, a little slick here. I'm turning left and truck's going forward. Oh. Shot that one. There we go. Checking my hood and other mirrors to make sure there's nobody coming from behind on the sides also. Oh, look at all this freaking snow blowing into my face. This is the way to do it though. Still want to be able to hear if someone yells at me or something. Hey, stop! You're gonna hit somebody! You're gonna hit me! Then I can say, well, if you're stupid enough to walk behind a truck that's obviously backing, then maybe that's your problem. Alrighty, made it. Short shift. That's not necessarily a bad thing. I'm not a fan of burning 20 or so minutes of my on-duty time for pre-trip and post-trip, needlessly, but I have clock to work with. Yeah, I had enough time to spare on my between what I have now and what I'm going to need to make my next delivery, so. It's funny, all this snow build up on the windshield, and then as soon as you as soon as you stop the truck for a few minutes, for even a second, now all this ice here was right here on top and was starting to come down, and it started to slide down, and then I just used my windshield wiper to get rid of it. I've had it happen so many times where I'm driving in snow, and I don't know. Let's see if it'll show it. Okay, I don't know if you can see the. Anyway. Okay, so the So in between the wiper blade and the arm that holds the wiper blade, a lot of times you get some snow that gets built up in there, and it causes the wiper blade to warp like that, or or basically it's in an odd angle where it doesn't have the flexibility to conform to the shape of the windshield. So when that happens, I'd have fun seeing if this guy's how easy it's going to be for him to turn. Because he seemed to turn that corner faster than I did, but didn't seem to have any slip. Yeah, I didn't feel like I was even going the fastest through there, and I could actually feel my truck trying to go straight even though I was in a left turn. So, anyway, as I was talking about, very common in snowy weather. That's where that'll happen, where it's just wipes up so much snow that a lot of the snow collects in between the blade and the arm and causes the blade to warp or not have the flexibility it needs to do its job correctly. So then what happens is you get ice build up on the windshield, or sometimes the ice will even adhere to the windshield where it just, even if the blade is able to hit it, it's just not able to pull it off. So odd thing is though, and every time that happens, and it actually does sometimes get to a point where I actually have to stop because I can't see anymore, and I have to either get off, maybe stop at a rest area, or even just get to an off ramp or something nearby, just so I can get the crud off my windshield so I can actually see and see enough to drive. It's just funny because every time I do that, I can get to, like I had one time in Cheyenne, I had this happen. Actually, they ended up shutting down the freeway that same night, shortly after I got through it. But, yeah, I'd stopped at an exit there somewhere on the west end of Cheyenne, because I couldn't see anymore. There was just so much ice built up on my windshield, and I couldn't get it to go away. And so I got off the freeway. I was just hoping to at least find a right shoulder area, but with so much snow cover on the road, I don't know what's safe to be on and what's not safe to be on unless it's asphalt, for sure, unless it's the actual lane I'm in. So that's the downfall of that. Anyway, I ended up, of course, to get to the intersection there, and I couldn't do anything because I got to wait for traffic. And then just in the time I'm sitting there waiting on traffic, most all the ice on my windshield decides to slide down and out of my way. Now I can see just perfectly fine. It's funny how it always works that way. But that's something you'll experience if you're a driver or a future driver. Pilot and Lost Hills is the closest I can get. That's Eric. Eric is going to Livermore, California, which is up in between Tracy and I guess I'll put it as San Jose. Yeah, up on 580. Livermore is also where one of Tesla's factories is at. So they have a gigaplant in Sparks, Nevada, or McCarran, whatever you want to call it, right down the street from the truck stop that's over there in, off USA Parkway. And then, because a friend of mine, actually, a guy I trained when I was in the Walmart fleet, he drives for JB Hunt in that fleet, and he goes from there over to Livermore quite often. I guess they have like a drop yard or something over there that they use for storing all their stuff for their cars. Anyway, dinner time, Spag Bowl. What on earth does that mean? You're getting all Yiddish on me there, Tom. Is that still supposed to be some kind of spaghetti thing or something? Got a little shorthand, I don't know. Burglars break in through roof of Victorville cell phone shop. Just got that notification. Alright, anyway. probably wrap this up here. And my delivery, of course, it's only a few miles from here. I already passed by it. Just a few miles from here. I'm gonna go ahead and send my arrival call in a minute. And then, just say I'm hanging out at Pilot until delivery time. Spaghetti bolognese. Okay, I had a feeling that might have been what you were getting at with that, but I wasn't sure. I'd never seen. I don't think I'd ever seen anyone shorthand that before. And it makes sense though, because I sometimes say parm, and sometimes people don't know what I mean when I say parm, and it's like that's parmesan. And sometimes I'm kind of curious of how people not know that parm is short for parmesan, but so you probably have the same thought when I'm like, the hell spag bowl. Yeah, I thought it was spaghetti bolognese, but I just wanted to be sure. It's British talk. Yeah, I gotta work. Gotta pick up on that sometimes. If anyone is up tonight, we'll be trying to stream. Okay, well, what time are you gonna be driving tonight, Eric? Let me check you out if I'm awake. I'll be delivering at 1 in the morning. I'll be in the doctor. I don't know, because I hear they're pretty quick about giving people doctors over there. So I don't anticipate being too busy after that, though. Unless I get something saying that my reload in the JBS in Green Bay is ready to go early. My intent will be to just come back over here to one of these truck stops and just camp out for a bit and then head back up there for the pickup when it's time. Don't know yet. Delivery's at 5 a.m. Okay. Lost Hills, you're on the 278 mile marker. I'm trying to remember the exact mile marker where you get on 580. I know Santanella's at the 407, so that's 130 miles just if you get to Santanella, and that's north of Santanella, so that's going to be at least probably a good 2.5, 3 hour drive to get to the 580, and then another at least half hour, not less than an hour, but more than half an hour, I'd say, possibly, to get from 580 over to Livermore. So imagine about a 4 or so hour drive at the very least. So it's gonna take a while. I guess you're gonna start around midnight-ish. Maybe figure out how many miles you are from there when you shut down. But I kind of suspect it'll be around 200 or so. You'll be 194 from where it's in. Okay, so pretty close. I'm only 6 miles off. So, yeah, this guy has tandems all the way back. Of course, I'm no stranger to doing that myself. Yeah, I see a Schneider truck coming into the lot. Oh, he's getting ready to get on the scale too, isn't he? He's gonna scale his load with all of his tandems all the way back. Oh shit! I was like, "What are you doing, dude?" He went over that hump there, and then his side skirt was scraping on that hump right there, and then his tires went over it too, and so it caused his trailer to tip some. It's like, why scale your load like that? At least slide your tandems at least somewhere to the right neighborhood. I doubt you're gonna. You're gonna have to go across that scale twice now, almost guaranteed. Unless it's light enough load, and even then, why would you want to drive with your tandems all the way back? Might not get out in 10 hours, or who's that question directed at, Tom? Is that me or Eric? I'm not sure. No thank you. I don't want to dig myself out of anything. Now Schneider's backing up. Can't get the tabs aligned quite up with the scale, or what? Well, it'd be a lot easier to do if you had the tandems were in a more in a better spot than he has them. He's backing up again. Like I said, get off the scale, put your tandems in a better spot. Why put yourself through all that hassle? Not to mention, if you're going to end up overweight on your drives and have to slide your tandems anyway, and probably want to reweigh, why even put yourself through that position where you're even might have to even reweigh at all? That makes 0 sense. What is he doing? Look like he's getting out to slide his tandems now. I see him walking back toward the back of his trailer now. Well, this guy's a real genius, isn't he? Alright. Okay, I might not get out in 10 hours. What? Now my delivery on this load's not due until 1 a.m. and I can't check in any sooner than about 10:30 tonight or 22:30 tonight. So it makes no difference to me if I show up at 22:30 or midnight or whatever. So I'll probably wait till about midnight, head over there, and let's see where this guy slides his tandems to here. And then I don't want to start my 14-hour clock and deadhead up to Green Bay and end up having to burn time after I'm there because my load's not ready to go. So I'll wait till either my load is ready to go or until it's closer to the time for me to be up there before my drop dead time. Yeah, that way I make sure I'm checked in on time. That way, if I do check in on time and the load's late, then it's not on me. But I also don't want to have my chance of getting good miles out of my next shift held up by burning out my 14-hour clock needlessly. Because I'm going to burn almost all of my 14 up just sitting between the delivery and the pickup. If I run a fresh clock from here to there right away. Now, if the load's ready to go right away, like as soon as I'm done with this load, even great. Then I can make my delivery and then go ahead and run it up in the middle of the night to up to Green Bay, and go pick up my load and hopefully get back through the area and work my way back down a little sooner. Why didn't he do that in the first place? I don't get that. Okay, does he not have a pneumatic valve? If he's got a pneumatic valve, all you have to do is release the trailer brakes and reset his trailer brakes to get the pins to come back out. I don't know if Schneider trailers have pneumatic valves or mechanical valves, though. Now I'm curious. find out. 5+ inches fell in Minnesota overnight. Headed your way if it keeps on snowing. Tom, are we supposed to be getting snow next week? Send it to Scott right now. No, don't send it to me. Hey, what's up, Jamie? Meet you in Biloxi. Can I come? Can I come? Yeah, this doesn't look anything like Biloxi, though. Snyder still has manual. Okay. Yeah, I think someone else might have told me that at one time, too. There's that, another guy I trained previously ended up becoming driving for Snyder for a bit. Yeah, he actually just got back into driving a truck for a living. He had switched over to driving small city buses. Yeah, mainly because he wanted to stay local. He's a good driver otherwise. He's not one of those. He wasn't one of those guys that would have taken to be one of those. Yeah, he's not fit for driving a truck or whatever. It was just his personal situation. I think it was more ideally suited for staying local. But he's no longer in that position. He just came back to trucking a couple weeks ago. I guess he started with, I think it was Snyder. It was either Snyder or Knight, one of the two. I want to say it was Snyder. He had driven for them before. And I guess in just not even a week, he had like 3 different trucks, and they were all 3 of them were pieces of shit. He had problems with every single one of them, so he said, he got fed up and said, to hell with it. If you guys can't give me a truck that'll stay running, or, if I don't have to keep stopping to put in the shop, then said, to hell with it. Here, you guys, he ended up abandoning a load over it, too. Yeah, he said he had had enough of it, so he ended up going to Swift. And seems to be liking it over there so far. Actually have heard, I think Snyder might be coming this direction. Can't see around this other truck yet. Yep, he's coming this way. Yeah, when Snyder passes by, I'll be able to confirm that it's manual, but pretty sure you'll be right, Carl. Oops. I guess I could go back off duty. He's looking for a spot to park in. Let's see if I can point at let's see if I can get to where his trailer is so I can identify for you. Right in there. I can't see. Yeah, I think it's a manual one. I think I see just barely enough there, right in between the tandems and the curtain. Oh, I can't see it now, but anyway, okay, I saw just enough, like a little handle. It looks kind of similar to yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Can't really tell from here. Thought I might have seen a slight bit of a handle, but I couldn't clearly tell. It almost looked like the setup where with the 5th wheel release. Must have been pissed off to do that. Yeah, he was, because that was something I taught him too. Never abandon a load if you can absolutely avoid it. And he would have been okay with. I got another Snyder with a container pulling out of a spot like right next to him. Can't just wait for him to finish backing in first. Yeah, that one's got a manual release on it, but that's a container trailer, so different story. Yeah, and he even told me before, when he was doing it too, like, I'm gonna do something you've taught me to never do, but I'm gonna do it anyway because I've had it. So he went ahead and did it, but yeah, it didn't affect his ability to get hired on with Swift. So yeah, it just depends on the situation. They'll usually question the driver about it. And if they don't like the driver's answer, then yeah, they might say, yeah, we're not going to hire you. We think you might do the same. We think it's bullshit reason why you did it. And yeah, if we think you're being too selfish or something, and that you might do the same thing with our equipment, and no, we won't. Why would I want to hire you? But if it's some circumstance like that where it's just, I mean, in less than a week, 3 different trucks and all 3 of them have problems, and it's like, yeah, well, we got some problems here with the equipment. How are you? I mean, it's one thing to have one truck have a problem, but truck after truck after truck, that shouldn't be happening. Anyway, Carl, you were asking when I deliver. You weren't paying attention. I delivered at 1 o'clock in the morning tonight. So I'll just PC over there, which I guess I can send my arrival call, and while I'm at it, let's see. I'll just say I got here about 12:25. Sounds good. 0209 12:25. Out at nearby pilots until check-in time. Send it, damn it. God, I hate this Qualcomm. Kind of like remember the days, the earlier computer days, where you had like maybe a 48633 computer, but you had a newer operating, like a newer version of Windows, like 95 or something, that needed a faster computer than you had, or maybe a game or something. I know Lisa, you might know about this if you're still on here. A game that maybe requires more than your computer is capable of, and then you have to upgrade it. Yeah, that's the frustration I have with this thing. I feel like the processor on this Qualcomm unit is way too slow. This guy is still trying to get correctly in his spot. It was already like the 3rd time or so I've seen him pull out of the spot. He's in the straight back already. And that's like the 3rd time I've seen him pull out of that. The 2nd or 3rd time I've seen him pull out of the spot to correct his position. Oh boy. Then I guess that guy's not the most experienced. Going onto the scale with his tandems all the way back first, and then having that much difficulty getting into a spot, yeah. And he was all the way back in the spot now and come back out. It's one of the ones, yeah, it's a useful technique, but it shouldn't take you more than one time of doing that to correct your position. Anyway, yeah, so he's probably got some bad habits in there and could probably use some adjustment. Alright, so, what? Yeah. You know, I'm talking about new motherboard, GPU, and GFX. Like, yeah, exactly what I'm talking about there, Lisa. Let's say you have a decent processor, but your GPU sucks, and you need maybe you need something. I don't know, like a higher end graphics card than what you have. Then the quality of your game is going to suffer. You know, you can't keep up. You know, your computer can't keep up with what the game demands from it, because, you know, the graphics card would be the bottleneck in that particular case. Yeah, kind of the same thing going on here. This puts so much demand on it. It's not even that much, but it's just an old, slow processor, I think, that has run into that problem. Howdy, Scott. Hey, what's up, Marty? Nice of you to show up now. I'm already at the end of the feed. I think it's time for another Ricola. I can feel the pain up in here again. But yeah, for those of you guys who tuned in later, that's why I haven't been streaming the last few days, because cold and bronchitis, and it's not fun to talk. So anyway, yeah, it was a short little run, 130 miles from Kankakee to here. I'm at the pilot in between Kenosha and Milwaukee now. I'm just a few miles away from my receiver. I don't deliver until tomorrow morning. Oh, I got the vitamin C. Been sucking down orange juice, so yeah, I like that thinking. Alright, anyway. Another guy backing in over here. Long day, is that Davis Transportation? Alright. Alright, so I'm gonna quit rambling here. I'm gonna go and end the feed. Plop 500 IU every couple hours. Yeah, I'm not too big on supplements. I like natural. I like it. I like my nutrition like I like my women. Natural. Gotta end this on a little bit of a humorous note. But it's also no lie. I do like natural women. Nothing wrong with some enhancements, but I don't like much. Alright, yeah, hopefully I'll be feeling better tomorrow. I don't know when I'll be streaming tomorrow. Probably will be, as long as I'm feeling at least as good as I am now, if not better. You're upset, bib, too. So we'll see how it goes. If all goes as planned, I will pick up tomorrow morning in sometime, ideally early in the morning, in Green Bay. Get it running down. Probably go down 41 to 151, and then I can take 151 basically down. I think if I remember right, I can pick it up in Fond du Lac, somewhere around there, and then head down that way toward Dubuque, Iowa, and cut down that way toward basically work my way down to I-80 in Iowa, and yeah, I don't know if I even want to go that way because I need to go by the yard. So I'll take a look at what's going to be the quicker route, but because the load comes first, I can always go back up to the yard after I'm done with Oklahoma City if I need be. You make me feel. I'm gonna get a slap. I'm getting a slap. You guys, you'll be up by Oshkosh. Yes. I'll be going up. If I remember right, up past Oshkosh to get to Green Bay. Fuel card, if you got it sorted out yet. Yes, they finally did fix all that problem, so. Yeah, and Carl, that's kind of what I was thinking, was taking 151 down, and I kind of worked my way down toward, I like taking Highway 1 down, once I'm over in that area, down to I-80. I don't like to go through Cedar Rapids and all that. I'll take 151 down by Madison. We'll try to go around the side of Madison, if I remember right, and then eventually hit Highway 1, take it down, and then west on 80, and then south on 35 all the way to Oklahoma City. Northern Iowa, snow covered. But, yeah, I'm going to check on weather, and I'll see what other routes are options. For all I know, 57 down toward or 57 or 55 even, Yeah, maybe 55 all the way down into St. Louis, and then 44 and 40 could even be a better option. So I'll see if it's not going to add. If it's going to be as fast to come down 55 to 44 to 40, I'll probably go that way, since that route will actually take me right past my yard. So when that'll happen, though, I don't know. So that's what I'm looking at ahead of me for those guys who are interested. Probably better option, yeah. All right. Okay, guys. I'm going in this here. 55 through Springfield, Illinois. Yeah. Last time I was at the Pilot in Lost Hills, there wasn't any road work. I told you, Eric. That place is a freaking nightmare right now because of all that construction. Now, I think it's in better shape now, but no, unless it's in the middle of the night, I won't go anywhere near that side of 46. Oh. Alright. So anyway, nanu. So, just watch for the notification when I'll be online again. I don't know when. It just sooner or later will happen, though. Probably not till tomorrow morning, early sometime, I'm guessing. So, just, yeah. So, we'll see you all then, okay? Take it easy.